Okay, so today's subject is going to be the app stores. One of the biggest things that you can do to help with your listing, and this goes for both Google and Apple. The difference is Apple is allowing you to have more pages to keep going more, but Google is not. And one of the biggest things is a video to be able to showcase your app. And that is something, it doesn't have to be long, but video will automatically move you up. So video is the new now, if you will. The video should have information about your app and entice people to download it. It doesn't even have to be a narrative. It can be a narrative, but it can just even be screenshots popping in and out. But there's a, what's the name of it? Movavi, Movavi, is a fairly inexpensive software to develop a video with. And so it'll put music in, you can soundtrack it, you can have different images popping in and out. We have one right now. Let me see if I can find it here pretty quick, just to show you. Oops, let me see here. Let me, okay. Okay, you guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, okay. All right, so let me share my screen. This is one that we had put together using Movavi. And I won't show you the entire thing, but you can add music. And you can add words. Okay, so what do you think? Yeah?
I liked it. I thought it was cool. Can you put any kind of words there?
Yes, we totally did that. And you can do it with a bunch of still shots too. It doesn't have to be video. We just decided on that particular one that we had some shots, so we used moving video. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't have to be long. You want to make it so that the video is no more than 2 minutes, but actually 1 minute is 60 seconds is even better. Because you have to realize people are looking at this from their phones. when, you rarely go to the App Store on a desktop, and you want them to see it as quickly as possible. And in this case, like we did words instead, and we have music playing, yes, if you want to hear that, but most people will mute it, and then they'll be able to read what they have. So you can do screenshots in there, you can do words coming across it, anything to give people an idea of what the app is all about. For example, the app that Anna has is really, it's the Brookfield Chamber app, but it is a app that's for the community, not for the chamber itself. And yeah, you can find chamber events and stuff, but it's really showcased for community and to be a benefit for membership, to be able to showcase their businesses out to the community. So yes, it's a Brookfield Chamber app, but it's actually an app called More for You. And that is an app that you want to make sure is showcasing that to people of why they would want to download it. And that's the biggest thing. Why do they want to download it? So having a video, having good screenshots are really key, because that's what people see first. And Google will always move up people with when they have the actual video up there. Then the next important thing is going to be your descriptions. Now here's the thing. If you've already published your app and you have the descriptions up there, you have the screenshots up there, you can always change these things. So if you don't have video, that can be added. You can always change the descriptions. You can always go in and change all these other things that we're going to talk about today. But the biggest thing is to make sure that you have a reason people want to read a little further. So it's very, very important in your first couple of lines, not sentences, but lines, that you want to capture people immediately, and you want them to click the More button so that they will read everything about your app, or better yet, click the Install button. So it's about how many installs do you have, or downloads, depending upon what you want to call it. And so you want to make sure that captions are really, really accurate. And if you haven't visited your App Store listing yet, then I definitely suggest you go do that and retool it. And the other thing that people don't realize about an app store is that there's keywords, just like you have for a website. And your branding and messaging should be the same throughout. I'll pick on the chamber. Yes, the chamber is about having memberships. However, it's not just about having memberships. It's about businesses growing. It's about community bonding. It's about everybody coming together for the common good. It's not just about how many people can we get to join the chamber. It's about what the chamber does. So their messaging for people to find the Brookfield Chamber, their keywords are going to be about the same as they will on the community app. They may want a few more. You might want to have some more keywords that talk about business offers and, community offers. There's some coupons that are on there. It is Wisconsin, home of the coupon. So that's why people will want to do that. Stacy, you want to talk a little bit more about your app so I can kind of give you some ideas of what might be good keywords and things?
Yeah, it would be totally a resourceful app. The platform they're going across to help people with adulting 101. So I was trying to figure out what would be the best possible way of getting more information out and to people of all different ages. And
do you have a target age group?
Not really. I was thinking 15 to 70. I think it doesn't really matter. I think we all sometimes even forget of certain things, and then we don't know where to find it or who to ask or who has right information.
Okay. So what I would do is I would definitely take your different categories that people might be looking for the assistance and kind of focus your keywords on that. Sometimes, have you ever realized when you Google something and you typed in, I can't even think of an example right offhand, but you're looking for a good Mexican restaurant, and all of a sudden it's talking about food supply down at a supplier, and it's like, well, how did that come about? You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's also a client, not a client, but there's a business out there. The two biggest words, keep this in mind, that are always Google search are how to. Really think about it yourself. How to make guacamole. Today is Cinco de Mayo, so we'll talk about guacamole. Or how to install a faucet. How to. So if you can think about your keywords or phrases that might include the how to, you're going to be bringing people in more than what you realized.
Okay.
Because I'm sure you guys have Googled stuff and went, where did that come about? So, yeah, awesome.
Yeah, because I was thinking about like how to like find an apartment, how to buy a house, how to get a checking account, how to save money, all different ones.
Good. Yeah, that's exactly what you want to do. You want to be in that how-to stage, because that is the most popular 2 words that are Googled on a regular basis. And app stores, whether it's Apple or Google, is the same concept. Keywords are keywords. I know we always talk about Google, and I know how we're always, saying Google this. I mean, my goodness, it's, it's become a verb. I mean, it's ridiculous. And I would like my business to become a verb. That'd be awesome. But they ended up having with the Google, those search type engine things work on all the different platforms. So that's why it's important. And you want to make sure that they're targeted to your app. So actually, like, the difference between the Chamber app and what you're doing, Stacy, is geographic. The Chamber app really is located for southeastern Wisconsin. That's where the majority of the businesses are. Now, there's businesses that participate in this that are global, like myself, but it's still targeted. The majority of the businesses are in that local area. And it's definitely not designed to get people to join the Chamber, but that's really kind of a nice benefit of having that. So that's definitely what I would focus on, is also making sure that words like southeastern Wisconsin are in there. Making sure that if you have a very tight demographic, that's included. If you're more in the United States, you want to be able to talk about that you're a national type of a company. Stacy, that's probably more for you. Well, okay, that's the name of the Chamber app. But Stacy, you're going to want it so that you're more on a national level. You're not just focused right in the southeastern Wisconsin local area.
Right.
Yeah. So, but these things are really important. The other thing that is really, really important is to make sure that the images that you have fit and that they look good. You want to make sure that they're sized right. You want to make sure that you're not just taking an image that belongs on the phone and stretching it out to say, okay, this is on the tablet now. Because you have to remember, people are going to be looking at their tablets, they're going to be looking at their phones. Phones have all kinds of different sizes. Everything from that small little one, the 5S or whatever Androids is similar to, all the way up to something that looks like a mini tablet now. I can't believe phones went from little tiny flip phones that would barely fit in your pocket to huge tablets now. So we want to make sure that the images is there. Now, Google and Apple give us the image sizes to fit for the different phones. So you just have to make sure that your images have gone along with that. And that's the same thing with the images that are within the app. There's nothing worse than seeing something all stretched out and not looking good. So what else do you want to know about the different store listings? That's kind of our topic today.
What do you mean store listings?
That's the Google store, the Apple store, the listing where your app is located for people and how to find it.
Do they have do you put hashtags underneath it, or?
No, you don't do the hashtag in the app. The hashtags are really for social media. And excellent question. Social media for being able to find where different posts are. So let's just say you want a trend that you're looking for, again, the best Mexican, so then you might want to hashtag Taco Tuesday. And then everything would come up that's got to do with Taco Tuesday. The app stores are not part of that. Hashtags will be excellent for advertising your app and putting it on the different social medias so that it leads them someplace. And that way also you can find out what's trending. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
is there any kind of like Google Analytics or anything?
Yes. Okay. The stores have they have the full-blown analytics. And something that's really, really vital is getting ratings in the store. You got to get your app rated. There's a lot of different ways to do that. And one of the easiest ways is to just send out a push notice with a link to your app store and ask your users to leave a rating for you, because people buy on ratings. I just did it this past week. I had somebody ask me about an app that, we had an idea for an app. Well, whenever you have an idea for an app, I always go to the app stores first of all to see what's out there. There's two different philosophies on this. One is that you want to see if anybody else has done it. And if they have, that doesn't mean that it's bad for you to do, because yours could be different. But what are people saying about it? What app is out there? Or if there's too many people that have this exact same kind of app, are you too much competition? So there's the first is, has anybody done this, and is there even a market for it? Mm-hmm. All the way to there's so many out there already, what's actually going to work? Weight loss, that's a big one right now. I see apps for fitness. I see apps for weight loss. I mean, you've got Noom, Weight Watchers. I'm sure Nutrisystems has one. What makes them all stand out to be different? And they all are different in many different ways. So when you're doing this, you want to look at the ratings, because that's what I do. I look at the ratings. Oh my gosh, this app is only having a 2.5, 3 stars. And you start reading the ratings and it says, oh, it's not functioning. It's not loading. It's, it quits. You look at all of those things. Or you get the 5 stars that say, oh my gosh, this app is great. It's always functioning. The coupons in it are great, or the information in it is fantastic. So you need to start doing a campaign to get ratings over to the app. And you can do that straight out with a push notice out to your users and say, I hope you like it. We'd love to have some feedback. Could you give us a rating? And the link can then be put right into that push notice that takes them straight out to the store where they can write their review. And that works whether it's Apple or if it's Google. It doesn't matter. But having app store ratings are huge. That also moves you up on the stores. And so does the number of installs that you have. Those are some real key features for moving you up on the store to be found. Yes, you can pay for advertising as well. Google stores, same with Apple stores, they work the exact same way as a website or as a search engine where, you got the paid ads on the sides. What happens in this case is you have the paid ads on top and you have the paid ads on the bottom. So people who have paid to be in there, and it's a pay for click type stuff. They're becoming popular. That's something that's fairly new. Probably within the last year or so that we've seen it grown in popularity. They've been there for a while, but it is a way to get your ad listed on top. I think I searched for, I want to say it was Noom app, and some fitness one popped up on top as a paid advertisement. So, yours is down a little bit. And this is where you can kind of help yourself stand out. That's the biggest question. Why does your app stand out unlike anybody else's? Stacy, you've got a whole bunch of information coming that I have not seen, and, basically how to be an adult and surviving, the day-to-day life. And Anna, yours obviously is not like any other Chamber app that's out there. If you were to search Chamber, you would strictly get this is a membership app. This is so you can find us to come to breakfast in the morning. Well, that is when we're allowed to move out and about again. This is how to donate to us. It's all about them collecting money and being, members. The Brookfield Chamber app is totally different. And that's what your reviews need to say. You need to get people who leave reviews who are saying this app is fantastic, it's always functioning, and that's what people look at too. Does the app quit? Does the app overstate it? And are you being too active in the app? There is such a thing of being too active or inactive. You got to have that balance. You don't want to be sending out push notices every day. I don't know about you guys, but I've turned some of those off because they come way too often. But those that come once a week, or if there's something special going on, that's okay. Those I allow to come through. And so that's one way that I would look at it, is definitely work on the reviews. And you can respond to the reviews. You can go on to the app stores and have access to it and be able to respond to the different reviews that you have. And that's important that you do that, because they want to be able to find you. They want to communicate with you. It's no different than if somebody leaves you a Facebook or a Google review. And having your app listed there as well and have people talk about it in reviews. Reviews are great. They're definitely great. So that's some of the stuff that I would do, without a doubt.
Okay.
So what else do you guys want to know?
And so you think you'd recommend like once a week as like
push? Yeah. Push notices at least about once a week. I wouldn't do more than that. And depending upon your audience, there's a local restaurant that I have on my phone, the Delafield Brew House. And when the whole COVID-19 thing started, they were pushing a little bit more, but now they push about anywhere from 3 to 4 times a month, just enough so that I know what's going on, but not so much that I say, all right, enough, I'm not eating. I mean, you don't eat out every day. Well, some people do. I'll introduce you to my parents sometime. But they trust me, that's a long story. But anyway, so but they notified me enough. Now, yes, I've been getting more push notices since the COVID-19 on all of my apps, but that's a good thing because it's telling me what's there. But now that started to subside a little bit since we're, a couple months into this. Now they don't have to beat us up over it too much. Now it's just a matter of how they're doing business and what they're doing. So it's an important thing to do, push notices, but not too much. Yeah. It's the fastest way to get people to uninstall your app is by bothering them too much with it. I mean, think about it. How many apps do you use on a regular basis? How many?
22.
Apps? 22 that you use every day?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Because you never realize like your text message is an app, your phone making a call is an app, all of that is an app, and you're just like, oh, I only use like 5 a day, and I'm like, no, you don't. I check calendar for you.
Yep.
Emails. I have like 3 different emails for.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So Anna's now sitting here thinking, how many apps does she use a day? Did you figure it out?
I know, I was waiting for Anna's response. I was like, waiting.
I mean, 22 sounds like a lot, but now that you talk about it, it's like, okay, maybe it's not out of the realm of possibility. Maybe 15-ish.
Yep. The average person uses 9 or more. And now with the COVID-19 and people staying at home, I challenge you to say that you're not using it even more. Everybody's shopping, use Amazon, Target. I've shopped just, I'm looking for something and I'm not sure which local store to go to get it. I plan on going to a store to get it, but I'm not sure which store I want to go. So I go on the app and find out. I was looking for a specific tea the other day because I'm a tea drinker, and I wanted a specific tea. And it's one that I can find I think I ended up finding it at Meijer. it's not it's the pure leaf tea, and it comes, I wanted the actual leaves. I didn't want just the pre-bottled but I love the pre-bottled, and I'm like, well, maybe I'll just make this myself. And I went on the different stores and I was like, okay, Meijer has it. Now I'll go to Meijer to buy it. But I wasn't, especially right now, I didn't want to just wander around to 5 stores to figure out who might have it. That's the last thing you want. Right now, you want to go just on a mission, get what you need and leave. And so that was one thing. So I ended up using multiple apps that day. And ironically, this particular thing that I was looking for is just a small bottle of the leaves. That's all it is, because I wanted to try it. I couldn't even find it on Amazon. I was like, wow. I could find a huge, major amount, but I wasn't looking to see if I liked it and spend $70. That was a lot. For a tea that's not that expensive. It's not anything organic.
Right.
Or something. Yeah. So, but no, people are using it. In fact, okay, let's take it one step further. Does your phones give you a weekly report of how often you're on your phone every day?
Mine does daily.
Yep. How many hours?
Oh God, I'm scared to look. I don't know. Probably 6, 7.
I'm 5. Yeah. Anna, are you
It'll say social media.
Yep. And are you a Google or Apple person?
I'm Google.
You're Google. Does Google do that? Do they give you a report?
Not in a notification form. I'm sure if I looked at it, I could find it. I don't think I want to do that.
You don't want to. You don't want to. No. And that's the other thing that's important to know. Google and Apple are now almost even as far as owners, people who use it. It's no longer an Apple world or a Google world. It is like 50-50. And in the last year, they project by the end of 2020, there will be 3 million apps on the app stores. Now, that's 3 million on each store. And most businesses are on both. So that's why you have to stand out, because apps are becoming the new gold standard.